Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Brave Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Jena Rodriguez, and I am your business and brave strategist, helping you make sense of your expertise, package, price, and profit from that by speaking up and scaling. And I love helping entrepreneurs ultimately get their brave on and unleash their full potential. That's really what I'm all about. And I love speaking to our guests here on this show about them stepping into their fullest potential and what their story is all about. So we have an amazing guest she's actually calling in from Beijing, and I'm like, this is amazing. I love how international this show has made us. And so hello, Marina Barayeva, how are you? Such a pleasure.
Hi, Jena. It's a pleasure to see you here too. And yeah. I'm doing good. It's early morning here, but I'm happy to connect.
I know, I'm very grateful. We were just talking about how it's 6 a.m. or something where you are, and it's afternoon, almost evening here. I'm in Houston, Texas, and but it's just amazing how great we get to connect through the video and Zoom and all of these tools that we have. And so I really appreciate you getting up bright and early for the sake of our audience, right? So if you would take a minute and just introduce you and introduce your business. You're amazingly talented, and so would love people to understand what you do in the world.
Sure. Well, I'm originally from Russia, and I moved to Beijing about 9 years ago.
Wow.
And that time, that's a long time, but I traveled all over the world. And that time back in Russia, I enjoyed doing modeling as a hobby. And then when I moved to China, I started getting into photography more because I was in front of the camera. And then I'm in that world. And then little by little, I switched to behind the camera. And because I was modeling, it was easier for me to work with people. But I wanted to grow it not just a hobby, but as a business. And in the very beginning, for me, it was so difficult to sell stuff. Because as an artist, you feel like, oh, this is my work. And when people say no to you, when you try to offer them something, it feels like the personal rejection. And it hurts.
Yeah. Things a little, right?
Exactly. And I put a lot of effort to perfect my work, to learn the skills, retouching. And I had a friend, and he said one day, Marina, your work is good, but when you will learn how to make people happy, how to serve them, then you will have the business.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice.
Yeah. And I didn't understand the time. I'm like, what do you mean? But okay, I will remember. And then in several years, a couple of years of trying all these things, one girl said, oh, I look so beautiful. I couldn't believe. I know that I'm beautiful, but you show me different myself.
Yeah.
So it took me exactly. From very zero, it took me about 2 years to really get to what it is to serve people, to make them feel happy. And then I thought, yeah, this is what my friend meant. It's not about how perfect the picture is, because I tried to make it like the art portraits, but what it is for people.
Yeah.
And then my business turned upside down. Then I started to connect with people more on the personal level.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I thought how I can grow that, because before I tried to reach people one by one, you try to offer, and it's very difficult. And if someone again say no, just like you spend a lot of time. I thought how I can expand my reach of the people, and I started to collaborate with other people. And that time I founded my online photography school, which I had for a few years, and it let me travel all over the world, do my work. It was a fantastic time.
Wow.
And everywhere, wherever I start, I think how I can work with other people. So I have my audience, they have their audience, how we can benefit each other. So working on some of those projects. In the end, I realized that I do everything by the same system. Right. And I put it together to the authority system, which I now share with people. And last year, I started my podcast, Marketing for Creatives,
Mm.
to help other entrepreneurs. Because one of my audience who I photograph, they're professionals, executives, and like solopreneurs. And another style I shoot is a fashion style portraits. So I thought how I can help those people. Even if I shoot fashion style portraits, the women often want to do something.
Right.
And that's why I started the podcast, to bring them even more value. And
I
then you
love
can and then you can connect with people more. I can talk about the podcast. I can help them without directly selling.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to build the connections there.
Yeah. Hence the reason we're on this podcast. I'm like, how can I help more people? Right. You know, I love the word, I think the thing to anchor, meaning to make sure people really hear, is that you ask a powerful question. Instead of like, I can't, you asked, how can I? And it opened up the ideas, and it opened up what's next for you, and it opened up the next door. And you know, it just, I think that's an important part of this story that you're sharing, is that we have to ask powerful questions in order to get to where we really want to go, or to get more, to be able to connect more of who we are, and also connect more to who we're meant to serve. And then you focus on service, which I think is exactly the whole point, right? It's like, how can I serve?
True. What often happens when people think about something and they, oh, no, I have work, I have kids, I don't have money, I have whatever excuse you can come up with.
Right.
Instead, just switch your perspective to how I can make it happen.
Yeah. How can I do it instead of I can't? I love that. And so tell us a little bit more about like I mean, I'm always blown away when people, even moving, I mean, I moved a lot as a young person. And interesting enough, I've been like stable, not really on purpose. Like I had family and then had kids. So I'm in the same house for about 13 years. I'm actually getting the itch to move again. I've never been anywhere longer than 3 years since birth. And so, you know, I'm now in this one area, this one house for 13 years. So it's like, okay, what's next? But so I'm always drawn to stories about moving, especially cultures. Like that's huge. So what is the most kind of the bravest thing you've had to come through these last years of moving around? You've obviously traveled. I get that part. I traveled a lot too. But what was the bravest thing you had to overcome?
Just to go and travel. And often I just get a one-way ticket and to live like a local person. Yeah, you come and you see. For several years, I traveled all over China and then a lot internationally. Right. And I was checking those places where I like how the life is there. It's not, you don't have any agencies. You don't have anyone to help you. You come to the new city. You need to find the apartment. You need to find whether clients or somehow how you're going to support yourself there. And then you just discover the city, new people, new culture. And China was completely different because I was in the US before. And when you come to China, I thought everyone speak English here because everything is made in China, right? Right. And I'm going to the capital. So I'm like, wow, it's okay. Maybe their English is not that good, but I will understand them. And when the first time I came here, I rented the place in Chinese area. So I'm going out and they don't speak English.
I can't talk to you.
No. And I walk down the street and I'm like, I'm so hungry. I want to eat something. And you go to the restaurant and there's the menu and everything is in Chinese.
Wow.
No pictures, no English. And even there are like some words, some English words, or even the pictures. You can point and order something. And when they bring it to you, it's not necessary the same like on the picture.
Oh, wow.
On the picture, it may look more beautiful.
That's scary.
Is that? Yeah.
That's scary, right? Oh, man. You're like, who knows what you get? Yeah.
I know.
So how did you, what a mind shift, meaning that's brave. I mean, for you to be so, So what I know is that the brain likes to find safety. It likes to be in comfort. It likes to find certainty, right? That's kind of our reptilian brain. And our mind is defaulted to, in general, find that safety. So for me and what I'm hearing, it's like, it's like the most uncertain thing you could possibly do for yourself. So what is the chatter? What was the mindset that you really had to adopt in order to be really okay with the adventure?
The curiosity. Like, I like to learn the curiosity. They're asking
curiosity.
how things works. What is there? It's very interesting to discover the new world, even if sometimes it's very challenging.
Yeah.
In one of my travels, I went to the island. I was in Hong Kong, and I went to the island with a friend, and we've done paragliding there. I'm so scared of the heights.
Yes.
So I'm like, but I have to do it.
I'm curious.
I wanted to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
So in early morning, he gave me a big bag. He said that we need to get to the hill, and then we do whatever we do. Wow. And I was just quiet. I was praying in my mind, walking up there. And then when we got there, he was laughing. So he said, like, "Oh, did you pray this morning?" I'm like,
yes. I'm still praying.
He said, "Pray again." I'm like, "Why did you tell me so? I'm ready to go back." That was so scary.
Wow.
And then, like, imagine you're on the island, and he said, "You see that island far away?" I'm like, "Yes." "So look there, and when I say run, you run." I'm like, "To run where?" I look down, and there are just bushes and stones, and it's like this, almost like this. I'm like, "To run where?" Oh, I was so scared. But I ran, and then we flew, and I just closed my eyes. I'm like, I cannot see that. My legs are somewhere in the air. I just holding my ropes, and I had to sit, and I couldn't. And my friend was screaming, "You have to sit, you have to sit." I'm like, but for that, I need to release my hands and get the rope at the top. And I couldn't. And I was like, with my eyes closed, and like, "Marina, you're already flying. You can open your eyes. You're already flying anyway." And I opened my eyes. I'm like, "It's so scary." I closed my eyes. And I opened my eyes. I'm like, okay, Marina,
I'm still here.
I'm still here. Now you need to release your arms. And that was so scary, because you're somewhere, you're flying. And at this time, like, for your brain, if you release your arm, what are you going to do? Are you going to fall? How does this work?
Yes.
But I could see it, but it was very, very scary. But after that, you feel so energized. We flew about half an hour over this island. Very beautiful.
Unbelievable.
And then after, I know. And then after, you feel like, wow, I could do this.
Right.
That means if I could do even this, I can do much more. You feel like so energized and inspired. That those small things, those small challenges which you face after that, it was like, that's not a big deal.
There's nothing can beat that. Nothing. I love that. I jumped out of an airplane 20 years ago, so I do get, same kind of thing, right? And I'm not naturally afraid of heights. Yes, when you're at 10,000 feet, it's a little scary, but I knew I wanted to do it, but I was nervous and scared, like all of it at the same, excited, all of it. But I can still, to this moment, feel the entire experience. Like, I can completely return there. And I love your answer, because curiosity, and I think I'm like writing this down, because if in order to get your brave on, right, there is, I call it 3 steps. You have to make a decision. So you made a decision called, I'm going to paraglide or whatever. And then you have to commit to it, which means you actually have to put the thing on. You have to, like, follow the steps and listen to the guide, and you got to commit. And then you got to take action, which means run like crazy. Right. But I think what's added is, before you can even get to the decision, is get curious. So I just saw that for kind of the first time, is otherwise our brain will default to, no, we don't need to do that. We don't need to go there. We're good here. We're safe. We don't need to even go there. But I think on the other side of doing it, and especially those things that scare the crap out of us, is building our self-trust. Right? Our self-trust, the belief that, oh, if I can do this, I can move across the world. If I can do this, I can like just get a one-way ticket and not have it all figured out. And so I just like love this, example of what it really takes. And I've done zip lining. I've done, the jump out of an airplane. It's all the same stuff. And it was interesting. Even last week, I consider myself a runner. But I have never ran. I really am not a runner. I mean, like in the history of me, I don't run, right? And so I made a decision like a month ago to say I'm a runner, and I'm on a journey. I use an app that helps me build up my endurance and be able to run, like a 5K or whatever. And but I was in this. The app said run for 20 minutes straight, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. What do you mean? My lungs are not gonna keep going because I hadn't run 20 minutes. I hadn't run 10 in a row. I ran like 8 and then stopped, and even 8 was a lot the first time I did it. So what I heard you say is it's almost like, and this is what I said when I was ziplining, don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. It's kind of like if you think yourself out of it, excuses, justification, whatever, but otherwise, just do it. Just like, and then you've got to control the brain and as soon as it wants to shut off and go the other direction or hit the, slow down the treadmill or whatever, is to do it anyway, keep going. And then what I also asked myself, and I'm curious if you thought this at all or something, similar, I asked myself literally while I'm running and trying to convince myself to stay in the run for 20 minutes was, what am I going to be proudest of today? What's going to happen when I finish that 20 minutes? How proud am I going to be that I did it, right? What you just expressed. It's like, I did it. Oh my gosh. Like I'm unstoppable now. And sure enough, I cried when I hit the 20 minutes because I'm like, wow, that's how you prove to yourself that you can do things that are scary or hard or like unbelievable or what have you. And so I don't know if you have something to add to that, but I love that you're bringing this up. I think people need to do more of this and give themselves brave challenges, like to step out there. So have you ever felt any of that, or can you relate to that at all?
Yeah, I can relate to that. And especially when you start doing something,
yeah,
you need to keep your brain in the present moment. It wants to save you. It has like automatically how to protect you. And what happened when you fear something, whether it's going to be jumping from the airplane or starting business or do something new in your life, like moving to another city or country, your brain starts to protect you by telling you, oh, what's going to be in the future? And you're afraid about the future because probably painful experience in the past, or someone told you scary things. Correct. And your brain is just racing. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Stop it. You need to keep yourself in the present moment. What's going on? Now you're just walking down the hill. Nothing happened yet. When the situation happened, then you'll solve it. Still, your brain will try to jump over and like, but I didn't get any results. I'm still on the way to the hill. And I see that island, or I'm in the airplane, like, how I'm gonna jump. You jump, relax, be in this particular moment. Don't go forward, don't go back, and do things which are necessary right now.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, being the present, because you're right. It's anything else, past or future, is an illusion, right? It's just an imagination. It's made up. Even if we were there, it's not now. Like it doesn't equal now, right? So very good. I love that you've shared this. So let's see. I'm going to ask another question. So when you started building your business, of course, we're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs in our audience and such. What was some of the bravest things you had to come through in that space, right? You've moved countries, now you're creating something different, reinventing yourself or whatever. And what is some of the biggest challenges as a business owner that you've had to face?
As I mentioned in the beginning, it was very difficult for me to sell. And then I started selling. And one of the trick which I found because I was learning about selling, how to sell, how to make it better. And I read a book by Brian Tracy, The Art of Closing the Sale.
Yes.
And there's the exercise, which I absolutely love. And I apply it not only for sales now, but on other stuff. So when you try to do something for the first time, you get to the new city and then you need to find clients, or you want to be on the podcast, or you want to do something new. Right. So set for yourself a goal to do this 100 times. Let's say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm starting out. Set a goal to talk about your service, about your business, about your offer to 100 people. And your goal to find those people and explain them how useful your service is, how it will benefit them.
Yes.
Don't make the sale. Like, this is not your goal. Your goal is to help 100% to serve those people and explain. So that time you switch your focus from selling, because especially when you start out, you're nervous, like, oh, I'm going to sell. Will they buy it or they will not buy it?
Yeah, I have to talk to money, all that, right?
I need money right now, and I need to keep up with the business. What if it doesn't work? Blah, blah, blah. So many things in your head. And when you focus on helping and you're like, I come to you and you're the first person, and I know that I still going to have 99 more people. I just need to tell you more about what I do. Right. Then instead of selling and being pushy, you put effort on being helpful and serving people. And
I love that.
It's incredible. And then even if a person rejects you, you say like, oh no, I'm sorry, I don't need the service now. First, you connected with the person because you explain everything. And second, your goal is not to sell to this person, but to talk to 100 people. And from those 100 people, well, I've never reached 100. Honestly, I never reached that. But because everything I start doing within those 100 experiments, it keep going. And then you have kind of immune system for these rejections, for these no's, for these failures, for this whatever it doesn't work. And when you do it many times, like, okay, one more time, that's okay. But then someone will tell you yes, and another opportunity will come. And this is what makes you happy and makes you keep going. Often when people start doing something, they say they do 1-2 times and they're like, it doesn't work. I don't want to do it. It just, that's not my thing. You've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's not your thing. When you start walking when you were a kid. Yeah, when you walked as a kid, you didn't walk right away. You failed so many times that you even didn't count. And still, you just didn't stop. You didn't know what it is to stop walking.
That's right.
You just tried. You stand up and you walk. If you cannot, you fall, stand up, walk again.
Right.
And now when you will tell me that, oh, I'm sorry, that's not my thing to walk on the street.
I'm not going to walk anymore.
No. Exactly.
I love that. I've heard of the book, but I don't remember that exercise. And I probably, only, and it may have been a long time since I picked it up. But I love that. And I think it because then you get to be nicely surprised when someone just sells you on you, meaning, oh, I want to have more. Can you tell me more? And, can I hire you? It's like, just focus on the serving of 100 people and you'll be shocked how many people actually end up buying, right? Just from the nature of talking about it. So here's the other question, just for grounding this conversation. So you moved to new places, you took on this experiment called just share with 100 people. And I'm assuming this is what you did when you moved however many times, or you're in a new space or new part of your business. So where do you go to find the people, the 100 people?
Well, 100 people I started to find later, Before, what I was looking for more for collaborating with other influencers, with other small groups, kind of connectors, as I would say.
Right.
So there are several people who could help your business and who can help you to find those 100. You can look for micro influencers in your city. They're not necessarily business owners, but they can be just managers of the communities, whether this is a Facebook group or a meetup or something, or maybe they have business. Like all those people who already have your audience.
Yeah.
And then see how you can collaborate with them. Can you come up with an event together? Maybe you can exchange your gift vouchers. Maybe you can exchange your service or do upgrades or just do something together.
Yeah.
That way you benefit them, they benefit you, and you reach each other's audience.
Love that.
Yeah. And then you can also work with some like bloggers or journalists. This is when I usually share the authority system and encourage people to go out to those communities too, because a blogger with who focus on the specific niche, they have the audience, they build the relationship already. They may write about you, and you can offer the story. Again, you don't need to sell directly there. People love stories. Media loves stories. It's one of the easiest ways to sell something or offer something. Just tell the story which relates to another person.
Yeah.
When you had a client, you can tell about the experience, the struggles they have, how you solve that, what they thought before, how they were nervous, or what problems they had, and then how it came out well in the end.
Yeah.
Or how was the process?
The hero journey. Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is how you do it. This is how you can connect with those 100 people. And then other thought leaders, other experts, think about the project, how you can leverage those names or those connections. Even if you're new in the city, you can maybe do the project. I want to interview best like top experts in the photography industry or top fashion designers.
Right.
Ask them one question and then summarize everything. You can even pitch it to the media and offer like, I've done the research and I talked to the very experienced, very talented people in our town, and here's what we've got. Would you be interested in featuring it in your magazine?
Yeah.
Some people will say no, but again, 100 magazines, someone will tell you yes. Yeah. And it's much easier to get to the magazine with a story or with a project than you would try to pitch your service. Yeah. You can pay for commercials, for ads. It's up to you. But with the stories, you connect on different level.
Right.
You can mention like if I would be a photographer and I would interview 10 fashion designers, that's the reason for that, why I interview them. Or I'm a wedding photographer, or I'm a makeup artist and I interview beauty experts. They're not my competitors, but it's related to my industry. And it's useful for people how to take care of your skin, how to prepare your skin for the makeup. Yeah. Or health lifestyle coaches, how to keep your lifestyle, how to keep your face fresh so you can put your makeup on there. Right. And then when you get to the media, you see you got some extra promotions or blogs or whatever. Yes. And also when you work with them, with those people, and if they're happy, for example, you give the example, you've done the makeup for them, or maybe you provide some other services which you usually do, and if they're happy, often they may talk about you. Maybe they will share social media, maybe they will just, if their friends will look for something, they will mention you, they will remember about you. And because they are already thought leaders, authorities, experts, those community leaders, they know a lot of people. Yes. So imagine you got the word of mouth marketing just for a project. Yeah. Just giving, serving people, you build your marketing without any big efforts there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, using the power leverage of others and the influence of others for sure. So I love that advice. And so I guess to shift a bit, because that was great technique and how to's and so because we're going to wrap up here, but is like the conversation around your business and just it's like serving people and all of that. I would love to know, why do you do it? What's the driving force for you? And it's kind of like, why do you do what you do? What's underneath it all?
I love helping people.
Yeah.
It's just incredible when you see them, the transformation in them. Even when I do the photo shoot and I see a girl almost crying, that I'm really beautiful. It's like, sometimes that, oh, I'm a pretty girl. But when you still in your mind, you think, oh, maybe my skin is not so good. Maybe something.
Yeah, you're breaking yourself apart.
Yes.
Right?
And when I photograph people, I keep their nature, but I just remove those small imperfections.
Yeah.
But I keep the personality.
I love that. I used to be a makeup artist. I used to be a model.
Okay.
So I know I completely get you. And so working with photographers, et cetera, but from a makeup artistry. And that is exactly what at the time I connected to, was like, wow, people could just see themselves in a better light, and they could just really connect to, I wasn't changing them. I was just enhancing them, making them feel good, making them feel confident, and loving themselves even more. And with or without the makeup, with or without the photo, but it's like they can see themselves differently for that moment, and just the transformation, which is really what it's all about. So I get that 100%.
True.
Yeah.
It gives them confidence. And sometimes when they feel more confident, they're ready to put it in other aspects of their life.
Yeah, it translates.
The business, their spiritual life, everywhere.
I love that.
That's fantastic. And even with my Marketing for Creatives podcast, I serve other entrepreneurs. I want to help those creative people, because it's like, this is my audience. I know how difficult it was for me. And I want to help those people so they can build and enjoy their passion, their business, their life.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm an artist, right? And on various forms, you can see it above my head, painting. And I get that creative, kind of the paradigm that goes on for creatives. It's like you said earlier on, it's our art, I can't ask for money, or it's not, it's like the undercharge for it. And when you can really shift, and see your value inside of the creativity, then your whole world can shift. So I love it. So thank you so much for sharing all that. While I'm like, holy cow, how fast the time's gone, but I'd love for everybody to connect with you and get to know more about all of your brilliance. So what's the best way for them to do that?
Thank you so much, Jena.
Sure.
Well, people can find me on marinabarayeva.com. And
Perfect.
if you want to learn more about the authority system and what type of influencer you are right now, in which level you are right now, you can go to marinabarayeva.com/influencer. And there will be a quick quiz, which you answer a few questions, and then you will get the results where it shows that where you are right now and what's your next step. Yeah, how you can help, how you can move forward with that.
I love it.
You can grow for it. Yeah. And then I'm all over social media. You can find me as Marina Barayeva. I prefer Instagram. What's your favorite social media?
I mean, Facebook I'm in only because I do have a Facebook group, the Brave Entrepreneur Facebook group, so I'm there a lot. But that and Instagram are my favorites.
Yeah, I love Instagram. So
yeah, it's creative. It's a great creative outlet for sure. Mm-hmm. So I will make sure we're connected, number one, of course, and I definitely encourage everybody to go find you there as well. Thank you for the influencer gift, right? That tool for them to be able to see more about themselves, right? Discover more. And so one final question. I always like to ask this at the end. If this was your last interview, if you were never to speak on a stage, never to speak on another podcast, not even your own, and you had one final message to leave with the world, what would it be?
Well, my favorite quote and favorite mantra is, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Whatever you're thinking about right now, take this step today.
Love it.
Then when it's going to be tomorrow, take it tomorrow. Every single day, even a little bit. You need to deliver it. You need to make it as a habit, and then it will keep going.
I love it. It's a practice, and it's one step. Buy a one-way ticket.
Yeah,
right?
One-way ticket.
You can always buy another one-way ticket back, but buy a one-way ticket.
Well, that's what I do.
I love it. Thank you so much. You're such a delight, and I'm really grateful for you getting up so early in Beijing, and just really getting to know more about you. So I look forward to connecting to you further, and I know everyone else will enjoy this as well. So if you're watching, please leave us comments and review on iTunes as well to let us know how this is impacting you. What difference is it making? What takeaways are you getting? And then definitely connect with Marina online, and we'll see you on the next show. So thanks for being here.
Fantastic, Jena. It's a privilege to serve your audience today. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And everyone listening and watching, let's go get our Brave on. Talk to you soon.